Let's go. We are locked in, ready to go. Let me know how I sound. Make sure we're doing all right. Locked in here. Nick Scott in the house. McCade Stinston. Love it. Little quarterback school brunch. Get it started. Nice little light morning. Just finished the video for tomorrow. Whoo! Coach Mackey in the house. We've got streaming royalty. Let's go. Need to be able to get locked in. A little split screen. I love it. Coach Mackey. Boo! You're welcome. Coach Mackey working on that stream deck. Love it. Oh, man, we got some familiar faces. Oh, Coach Johnson in the house. My goodness.
Bruh.
Better get your mind right. Locking this thing up here pretty soon. What's good, Blake? Coach Mackey.
Nope.
Come on. You got this. Let me know if Coach Owens ever got back to you. That's a streamcast that I want to watch. I got to get into at some point, y'all, it's going to happen. We're going to get a guest. I'm going to master that technology. I'm slow in the roll with all that stuff though. Let's go. Coach Mackey does love the stream deck game. You got to invest, man. You got to get something good going. Do me a favor, all my early morning, or I guess midday, depending on where you're at. Really, the international crew. Nighttime. Crush that like button for me. All 50 of us ramping this thing up, getting ready to talk a little ball on a random, what is today? Wednesday morning. What's good, Thomas? In school right now. If you're in school right now, man, it's not that important. You can come back and watch this later. We're going to try to do more and more of these lives. Probably going to do another live around this time Friday for a number of different reasons. Just finished the video for tomorrow. A little Kyle Trask for all my all those Gator fans out there. Interesting prospect. Nick Scott. That's good. I love the emoji game. Strong. That's what I can get. See, my midday process out here coming in. Forgot to pop out the chat. Here we go. Nice. All right, let's go. What we got questions wise? Talk a little ball. Coach Mackey, hit me with something good. Coach Mackey, did you put if you're not a Twitterer, hop over there. Asked everybody what their favorite quick game concept is. I know Coach Mackey is all about the stick, but if you're not a sticker, what else you like quick game wise? Fill me in. Trying to get some ideas together before I throw out the next project. Crank out pretty good. Carlos, Argentina. I love the international crowd coming in. Boom. Appreciate you. McCaleb Lyons. You are late to the party. You should definitely check out the first course. Stick. How many variations of stick can there possibly be, man? Stick flat, double stick, all stick. Mac Jones, Matthew, that is definitely coming. Ooh, Johnny, Dragon Lion. I hear that. Oh, man, I don't have like a fire thing. There you go. Dragon Lion is like my go-to base #1 split field concept that I like to teach quarterbacks because it is a simple. You can make it as simple as you want. Closed, open, man zone. Good options versus damn near everything. It's even better when you start working the check down. Can't tell you how many times I threw Dragon Lion in an NFL preseason game and got a completion to the back. I mean, steal it. Dragon Lion, it's not wide open. Check down. You're welcome. Here we go. Got to crank up that completion percentage in the preseason. We're hoping, Coach Mackey. We are hoping California turns the corner here pretty quickly, but it has been a straight for a while. We're locked in, ready to go when we get our opportunity, though. All right. Gunner, strong. Ayo, George Smith, 1616 coming in hot. Let's see what we got. Super chat. Hey, JT, might be confusing one, but when I throw, after a while, I experience pain in my bicep. Why could that be? Ooh, this is probably out of my wheelhouse as far as I'm not a huge fan of giving like quote unquote any type of medical device over the internet. That's not my type of doctorate. I will tell you that for me personally, I've been around a number of quarterbacks that always had bicep issues. I fortunately never did. I was always a forearm, tricep, front of the shoulder, neck type issue. I'm not going to tell you exactly, do this, do that to take care of it. I will tell you that I think the science has really changed as far as, being able to put heat on it, being able to take care of it. I was never on a quote unquote pitch count, but as I got older, I certainly threw a lot less and felt a lot better, but I can't tell you, hey, your bicep is hurting because you're doing this. I'm uncomfortable even suggesting that I would have the idea. I will tell you that I would reach out to your trainer. I would try to take care of it as best as you possibly can. I would be highly sensitive to it and try to build up a tolerance. Being able to, listen to your body is one of those things. The other thing that I would say that I really like to do that only did towards the end of my career was to do throwing motions or throwing mechanics while not letting go of the ball. So I always think the most violent thing in pitching, throwing, anything, you talk to a lot of people who are what I would quote unquote say experts in the space as far as rotational athletes. And the thing that's different than from tennis to pitching, quarterbacking, those types of things is you let go of the ball. There's a violent kind of deceleration. So if you can train, to not decelerate and hold that weight in your hand, I think it potentially could be something you'd want to work on, but it's not my wheelhouse. I apologize, George. Let's go, bruh. Good to see Coach Johnson in here locked in, holding it down. Coach Mackey, what you got? Yeah, I hope we play too. Oh, that's a good question. Coach Mackey, I hope y'all can play. So my question, has this lockdown changed your install? I love the question. I can't really answer it because we haven't even gotten an opportunity to play. I'm very excited about our quote unquote senior class. They've been seniors for like 18 months now, but they've gotten the information installed about 4 different times. So to go from what we installed last April or last, March in our quote unquote like quarterback school off season to what we would actually play, what we would run if we got a 5-game season, I don't know. I would hope, I definitely think it has evolved and changed, but I think it evolves and changed because our personnel pieces are probably a little bit different than we were last year at certain positions. And so me trying to take advantage of what that looks like or what we think that might look like when we get a chance to play when we haven't played football. For a long time, we were only in pods and we were only doing, small group stuff. And so no one's touched pads in a long time. And so what it looks like, I personally have no idea. I know I picked your brain as far as what you thought guys were doing, what you did as far as being concise and condensed and potentially in the playbook. But I think it will probably be pared down significantly, but until we get out there, I always put the bookends on the players. If they can retain more, we're going to do more. If we can't trust them to run certain plays, then we're not going to run more plays, certainly. And so that's where we're at. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if it's changed you. I know you're always slimming down. There you go. Be flexible. I like it. Adaptive. Strong. Coach Johnson, man. Miss seeing you around. We got to get this thing cranked up again. Football edits. Okay. Do you think that mobile quarterbacks are changing the game? If so, how? I think there have always been more mobile quarterbacks. I think the game has evolved to better take advantage of their skill set and make it more the norm and less like the outlier, like, oh, that's a running quarterback. And now it's just that's the quarterback. And sometimes the best athlete plays quarterback now. Not sometimes, more often than not, as opposed to saying, okay, hey, you're going to go be the tailback or go be the middle linebacker or go be the slot or wide receiver. Now it's, hey, you're playing quarterback at a younger age. And so it's made it a little bit more acceptable generally across the board. to have a more mobile guy. Do I think it's changing the game? I think it has been changing the game for a while now. I think people are just starting to catch up to it. Jack Autry. What we got? Man, those emojis. You're welcome. I know you appreciate that. Jackson. What's your most proud football coaching or playing moment? I don't know if I can ever singular it down to like one specific thing. I think it's always been the reason I love this game so much is just the experiences that I've constructed or been fortunate enough to be part of over the course of being involved in what I think is probably the best team sport available for Americans. And so, you know, that's why I love it. I love the strategy. I love the friends. I love the relationships. I love the camaraderie. I love the resilience element of it. But to say like, this is my favorite thing ever, I've never even thought about it to give you a good answer. Bruce McAlister. Gotta get my eyes checked. I need to change my prescription on my lenses here. What are your day one formation installs? That is a good, interesting question. We do 2x2 and 3x1s. Normal. All our 2x2 and most of our 2x2 and 3x1s. We have some like condensed and kind of spread out ones too that we don't put in the first day. Rick, that's a pretty generalizable question there. I'm not sure I agree with that. Running quarterbacks don't last due to injuries. I mean, most people don't last due to injuries either. Love it. We're getting close to 100. Coming in hot. Check in. Let me know where you're coming in from, especially if you got the international crew in here. Always fun to go kind of random times on the live stream to get a little bit more, you know, anti-West Coast. Not that I don't love the West Coast, but different crew rolling through here. Coach Mackey, what's the easiest Pass Pro to install, and why should everyone get your new course? Just, you know what? I'm going to put a new GIF in here, like put it on a T for me. The easiest Pass Pro to install, probably for me, quarterback-wise, probably full slide. I think full slide is a little challenging to the front side of the offensive line. But if you're talking quarterback-wise, full slide, wash it down, 2 off the edge, hot. From a coaching perspective, tough. Probably, I don't know, 7-person protection, solid mic declaration, 2 back types or a tight end type, having a kind of dual read on their side, I would guess would give you the most options, but I don't know. That's a good one. Why you should get the new... Maisha coming in hot. Man, fire all over the place. Get the new course because you want to get better and you enjoy the content of the channel. I appreciate the question. My hardworking, stressed out wide receiver has 1 day to actually train until football starts. Do you suggest field workouts or facility workouts? I suggest team workouts would be my suggestion for that wide receiver. That wide receiver needs to make sure that he's healthy, locked in. I know he's taking care of himself off the field, and we're excited to have that healthy wide receiver DB locked in, ready to go, because that dude can play. No, we're excited. It's going to be good. Fired up. I'm glad he's working, getting that grind in. Love that video. I want to see more video of him at the office. 6-man slide. Coach Johnson, there you go. Slide it out. We'll see this year. Last year, Pass Pro wise at the high school level, we were definitely 6-person half slide predominant. We did some full slide too. We'll see where we go this year. Potentially got some different things, but you know, until we get out there, we might be just back to what we were doing last year because that's what they know. You know, again, I think it's going to Coach Mackey's point earlier about what the installs look like when we really start playing. You know, I don't know. You know, are we doing generalizable installs like normal 1 through whatever install when we get to camp? Or are we going, hey, we got 2 weeks of practice. Like, you already know the offense. Let's get ready for an opponent. I personally don't know what it looks like. We're all going to be kind of just waiting to see exactly what the schedule looks like, how much time we have, all those types of things. Craziness. I know a lot of people out here are getting excited to potentially have some ball. Joe checking in from Indiana. Appreciate it. Germany, yes. What part of Germany? Man, I had a good time. Frankfurt, Offenbach. Appreciate everybody. Crush that like button for me. Life's a gamble. What's your favorite quarterback? My favorite quarterback growing up was Steve Young and Rich Gannon, but I was a NorCal guy. Preston Harris, what is your indie to team time balance in practice? More team than indie? Yes, is the answer to that. Again, for me, there's no easy way to blanket answer that question. Our practice plans change every day based on what the staff thinks we need. And so our indie time usually gets shorter as the season gets on, but we also structure our practices a little bit, I think, different than maybe some other programs do. We classify a 15-minute opportunity period before practice where you have, quote unquote, it's not coach driven, but there's an opportunity instilled and promoted to get better and work your craft. And so that really is another individual period. So we usually bookend that with potentially another one of those types periods at the end of practice. So, if indie starts at 25 minutes on the first day of practice, which I don't know if it does, it's probably closer to 5 or 10 minutes at the last week of the season. So it ebbs and flows. I'm not tethered to, hey, must be this for this practice or must be this for Tuesday or something like that. Like, it depends. Some strong questions, y'all. Appreciate you coming in hot. Detroit City, R. Doss, Dan Campbell, biting kneecaps. I played with Dan somewhere. Maybe Detroit, actually. I like Dan. I'm a fan of Dan. I haven't talked to him for 10 years, so we'll see. I don't think it's an easy organization, obviously, to win at. That's not a hot take. Michael, appreciate you. Always appreciate the support, Michael. Thanks for the course. Checking in from Toronto, Muhammad, love it. I have been to Toronto. I played in that stadium. I think we got smoked by the Argonauts that year. Ricky Ray, lighting it up. Sac State, pride of Sac State. Oh, man. TJ's. JT, any chance you got any Chad Johnson stories? Yeah. The answer to that is yes. I will tell you, that Bengals team that I was with, I don't know if it was the year after, I was only there in camp, but there was one time where, let me see who I was around. On my right, I used to sit next to Cedric Benson. Behind me was Ocho, T.O. On my left was Carson and Jordan. I want to say maybe on one of the sides of those two guys was Pac-Man. And then like Tank Williams was like 2 rows back. There were some personalities in that room. Personalities. Team and Marvin Lewis running the show. And we were good the year that we were there. We ran the table in the AFC North. It was fun. But personalities. My thing about Ocho, I mean, he's a different cat, obviously. That's not a hot take. But the thing that I always appreciated about him was that he might not do everything right. And what I mean by that is, like, if you had to get to 15 yards to run a route, he might be at 12 or he might be at 18. But he's going to be standing by himself. He's going to be open. Now, I've seen him do Carson dirty where, he's supposed to run a post and we're throwing like a bang 8 glance on time and he runs an out. Well, he's wide ass open, but the ball's in the air. But I've also seen Carson trust him to win, and he wins doing something that we've never practiced before. So I think people at that level, I really just enjoy people who can create space and be open. And it's not going to be perfect. I don't have the expectation that it's perfect, but I know that dude's going to win. And so that was what I always liked about it. The other stuff was the other stuff. And, I never thought it was, I always thought it was kind of playful in that regard, but I like dudes that can get open. Yeah, that was quite a room. That was interesting. All right. What else we got? Oh, man, we are getting close. 99. Let's go. All right. Lock on here for a few more questions. Crank this thing up. Probably, hold me to it, probably going to do a live around this time again on Friday. Having fun getting back into the live world. Just about being able to crank this thing up. Make sure we continue to try to do it somewhat on a schedule. There you go. Let's go, bruh. Joe checking in. No BL today. Apologize. Too early too. For me at least right now on a Wednesday.
Cheers!
What we got here. Best athlete you have ever seen with your eyes. I don't know. There's a lot of great athletes on Sundays. Probably Michael Vick. Michael Vick, when he was with the Falcons, was the fastest dude I've ever seen. And it was because, well, it was a number of reasons. But when we were playing on old school turf, like carpet turf, and that dude was running around, and there is a big rivalry between the Falcons and the Saints. Those games were electric. And that dude was crazy fast. I mean, yeah, that would probably be my answer. Jack Henry, what's good? What are things you focus on during individual drills with your quarterbacks? Footworks, throwing mechanics, or is it a lot of walk and talk? It is very specific. When we do individual, it is almost always, when it's just the quarterbacks, it's almost always just footwork. And when I say just footwork, I don't mean bags or like weird things. I mean drops. But that for us is usually the off season. And so technically we're in the off season right now. We're a little bit more in the, into the playing football right now. So there's a lot less of that. When we do individual, we also do a lot of ball handling stuff with the backs. We do a lot of, if we're doing RPO stuff, we need to work that mesh consistently, eyes, all those types of things. So it depends. If it's just the quarterbacks, it's usually footwork based. Now, if we're in the beginning of the off season, and depending on who the quarterback is, where they are on their kind of developmental path, I will do really specific mechanics, upper body mechanics, throwing mechanics, base. But why we do it in the off season is so we don't have to worry about that during the season or even during summer. You're hoping you're competing in a normal year, doing 7-on-7, working the reads, working the timing, working those types of things that you got to put that stuff. You got to do the work. You got to put it on the shelf, so to speak, and trust it once you're in a good spot. But it really depends on the quarterback. But once we're playing football, it's footwork, if anything, and a lot of ball handling for the back, just because we're so RPO dominant as far as what we're trying to do offensively. Late to the party. Yes, you are, Housewife Juke. But good to have you. There we go. Checked in just over 100. Appreciate everybody crushing the like button. Cleats in the ground. Coach Johnson is paying attention. Love it. Coach Johnson might have the best JV quarterback in San Diego. I'm not going to lie. Pretty excited. He's been putting in work. Had a day yesterday. There you go, Jack. Let me know what y'all do. Cooper, what are your thoughts on 7-on-7? Just going straight Coach Mackey for me, putting it on a tee. I think 7-on-7 has value. I think it's kind of taken on a life of its own a little bit. To play quarterback at a really high level, I think that 7-on-7 has a place. I think to get better at football, 7-on-7 has a place. Now, I will tell you that it bothers me, or it did bother me, I should say, when we were doing 7-on-7, that I would see all these teams, running 5 wide, hurry up, spinning it all over the field, doing 5 verts. And then when we see them play in the fall, they're running double wing. But that's just me. I prefer to try to run the offense that we're going to do. I know it's hard when all you're seeing is 2-man. I get that. But I think that there is value as far as the timing, the reads, that type of thing. But I also think that, if you're taking a shotgun snap, not taking a drop, shuffling, throwing it at the line of scrimmage after someone counts to 4, that's not really helpful. And so I think that there is a place. I really, really, really prefer to do more 11-on-11 stuff. But sometimes that 11-on-11, 7-on-7 vibe is not working the greatest technique for the guys up front either. And so I think it has its place. I'm not someone who, necessarily loves it so much that I'm going to travel to tournaments and do the elite thing and like that type of thing. I think that it has a place. I think that some guys who like it can develop and do that. And depending on what type of system you're in high school, it might be the best thing you get as far as passing offense. But for us, as someone who probably loves to pass the ball when we play real football, tackle football, I think that you can get in bad habits really quickly by being comfortable with no one around you and never getting hit and those types of things that's just not playing ball. It's not playing real football. And so you got to be careful about developing bad habits. But I don't think I'm not someone who's going to like poo-poo it and be like, you shouldn't do it or it's clown stuff or whatever. I think that there is a place, but it's not somewhere that we live a lot as a program necessarily at the high school level. Boom. RDOS1 coming in hot with some good questions. I answered that in a course. I'm not sure which course. I think the coverage course. What is open? Putting on a T again. All right, a couple more here. Lock in. I saw the, what do I think? How about a Troy and Ed Reed film breakdown? Like a safety school? Probably not. I think it's not a bad idea, just not necessarily for this channel right now. Anthony, that's a good question. We might just open it up to like football university, start having rooms all over the place. I like it. Scaling up. Gustavo, I see you creeping in there. What's your favorite red zone pass concept? Smash, running back down the middle of the field, right on cue for the 7-on-7 fans. My favorite red zone concept is to run it in. No, it's when I was playing. I mean, it's hard to answer without knowing what type of defense you're going up against. My favorite concept is to throw the best player the ball. I love double moves. I love kind of fake corners, posts. I love sluggos. I love wheels. Sometimes, I know it's kind of hated on nowadays to say just throw a fade because of the percentages at the highest level of football, but sometimes you can just throw a fade. It really is that simple. But the red zone is fun because playing it, I always thought it was the best reps, especially in practice, because the windows are condensed, everything happens faster. I can remember really, really clearly the first time I ever got to go with the ones in a red zone team drill in New Orleans, and I was like, this is like turbo world, turbo speed. Everything is condensed, everything is closed. In the league, there are a lot more red zone specific concepts that you probably don't get a chance to work out in the open field that you do call in the red zone. Less and less of that, I think, at lower levels. But when I remember being like, this is the fastest thing I've ever seen, and it was practice, and it was fun. And those red zone reps in the league in practice were cherished for me. All right, let's do one more. Lock this thing down. We've been going here. How long have we been going for? How can I even tell on this thing? Man, Alex, thank you for volunteering. Michael. I mean, red zone defenses are a little bit more confusing just because you just don't have that much field. Everything feels more condensed. But I think once you break it down and realize that there really are only a handful of different ways they can do it, I usually think of it as like almost like a picket fence. It's a variation of usually some form of bracket rules, but there's so many guys who just have areas of the field depending on what type of zone, man match, zone match type of look you're going to get. Once you see it, you got a chance. There you go. Coach Johnson with the golf love. Man. All right, what we got here? I'm trying to see. I have no idea why your spiral goes to the right. Apologize about that. Kirby coming in late with the lookalikes. I like it. Coach Dre, yay. Good to see you. Love seeing people who have supported the channel for a long time. It means a lot to me. I really do appreciate it. Crank this thing out here. Sorry, you timed it right at the end. But tomorrow, Kyle Trask, Florida versus Texas A&M. Some interesting throws, some really nice throws, some really cool offensive architecture as far as what Florida was doing. I'm not a massive Dan Mullins fan, but I liked what they were doing scheme-wise, and that was fun to watch. The entire Zach Wilson video comes out on the Patreon community soon. Get over there, crank it out. Patreon community folks, let me know what you want to see next week, leaning towards a Justin Fields part due probably next week for the Patreon, maybe the week after that. But we can take it wherever you want to go. Again, I sincerely appreciate the support. I really do. Do me a favor, if you haven't checked out the courses, check out the course, the Master Pass Protection one. Very excited to continue to share it, especially with young quarterbacks, people trying to get better at the craft, having a lot of fun with people who are already enrolled in it, taking it, asking really great questions, being engaged. Again, thank you for your continued support of the channel. I sincerely appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much for spreading the good word. Get over to Twitter. Let me know what your favorite quick game concept is as well as I work on my next project. And again, thank you for the continued support. Have a great one, and I will see you next time. Let's do this Friday again. All right, y'all have a good one. Take care.